Yo, Dragon Ballers, real quick before we get into the video, make sure to check out our new sponsor, Dex Protection, down in the description below. Make sure to use them for all your card gaming protection needs, whether you need sleeves, whether you need binders, whether you need deck boxes, make sure to use them. I'm going to walk you guys through real quick. You have the product drop-down menu here. Let's say I want to go grab some sleeves. It brings you to the sleeve page. And then you have our regular sleeves, because we're not Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't use mini sleeves, we use real size sleeves. So we click on that. We go to buy now. We have our option of all the different colors. I think Dex Protection sleeves are super high quality. I use them. I use their binders to keep my collection. So guys, make sure to check them out in the description. Let's get into the video. Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. The release of set 10 is 1 week away, and I cannot wait to get my set 10 product and open it up and just get the new cards. So exciting. Guys, we are doing another video for 10 more common cards you need to be on the lookout for. You need to pick up from set 10. Very, very cheap cards that I think are either going to be great in the current format, which I will talk about, or they're going to be good down the road, and having a playset or even maybe a foil playset, if it's cheap enough, is definitely a good investment. So guys, with that being said, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a video. Many links down in the description below. Patreon, Dex, the Gemmy app, the merch store, all different ways you guys can help the channel out. Get some one-on-one coaching, get some CWTCG merch. That being said, guys, we're getting right into the video. First card I'm talking about, SS2 Trunks for a Brighter Future. Now, if you guys didn't see on my teammate Trey's Facebook page for his channel, go check that out because he posted the images of this card. Now, you can get these commons and uncommons as full art foils. There is one guaranteed per pack as far as I'm aware, and that is so cool. This information we didn't have until recently. So the fact that you can get this uncommon card as a full art foil is so sick to me. But besides that, there's another reason why I think you should pick this card up. So it's a 4-drop blue 20k, and the first thing I want to read is the auto, which is tied to blue future Trunks leaders. If your leader card is a blue future Trunks, at the end of the turn, at the end of your opponent's turn rather, draw 1 card. So the reason I think that's relevant is because we are playing Dragon Ball Super. Trunks is a very popular character in Dragon Ball. I think we will continue to get future Trunks leaders that this will apply for. This will be a great card for those decks as we keep getting more and more support. We already have 2 blue future Trunks leaders, of which this card is good in both of those decks. So with that in mind, I think it's a good pickup for the future. But besides that, the permanent and the activate battle, not tied to any specific leader. If you have a blue Unison card in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then activate battle once per turn, pay 2 blue. This card gets plus 10,000 power and triple strike for the battle. So in just about any blue deck that's playing a blue Unison, this is a 4-drop 30k triple striker. So for that reason alone, I like that he's a real budget alternative finisher. I do like that a lot. And like I said before, he will be very good as new future Trunks leaders come out. He does have the unique tag, so you can't really spam him to the board. Maybe 3 is the appropriate number, but if he is your main 2-drop play in a deck, you know, let's say maybe you play a turn 1 Unison, if that comes out in the future, you play that turn 1, you play this turn 2, or even turn 3 with a turn 2 Unison. Maybe 3 to 4 copies of this card is appropriate because he does have unique. You can't spam him. But besides that, I think is a good budget finisher in blue, which kind of lacks finishers that aren't tied to archetypes. You know, like this guy is tied to Trunks, but only for one of his effects. The other 2 effects make him a valid finisher in any blue deck that's playing Unison. Moving along, Zeno Edge of Space. This card's very interesting for me, because I actually don't think this card is very good right now, but I can easily see a future where this card's very good. So real quick, give it a read. Auto when this card's played, draw 1. The other auto says if your leader card is blue, if your life's at 5 or less, and it's your opponent's turn, when this card's using a combo, add 1 card from energy to your hand. If you do, place 1 card from your hand in your energy. Now, the reason I don't think this card is so great right now is because they banned Plan for Destruction. That was a pretty strong combo with this card. Basically, use the extra card Plan for Destruction, put in your energy, use Zeno Edge of Space to get an active energy back and Plan for Destruction back to your hand. That was a very strong combo. Nowadays, I don't think there's too much synergy where Zeno is allowed to shine like that. Like, yeah, you can charge a really good card turn 1 and then get it back with Zeno, but is that really worth it? In my opinion, probably not. Just charge a worse card in your hand instead of a better card. But with that being the case, there can easily be a card like Plan for Destruction or something along the lines of a card that you're going to put in your energy early and that you want to get it out of your energy. Likewise, I can also see some parallel timeline where there's an effect that says if this card's added from your energy to your hand, do something, right? That would be really strong. So I think this is definitely a card you want to pick up at the uncommon slot just keep it in your binder for now. If you want to play it for now, I mean, absolutely go ahead. Other people definitely think this card's good and have a different opinion from me. I'm not saying my opinion is the one you have to take and set in stone, but just my opinion, guys. I think this is a card I'm definitely picking up for the future. Vegeta, Savior of the Future. Very, very straightforward. This is blue's first attack, take a life, gain 10k double strike card. It's first hand Kaba and cards of that nature. So you definitely want to pick this up, whether you're playing blue or even if you're playing a blue splash. I've talked about it many times before, how blue is probably the easiest splash color in any deck in the game, because you take 4 senzu beans, you take 4 to 6 blue 1-drops, and you take, like, you know, 2 to 4 Whis Coercion. You have a very easy blue splash in just about any deck. And Vegeta, Savior of the Future is a great card to splash as your 2 to 4 of 1-drop blue card, because he deals with unisons. You know, the name of the game now with 1-drop take a life double strikers is partially to help you go for game in the right scenarios, but for the most part, these cards are there to deal with unisons. Double strike removing 2 markers is, of course, incredibly very powerful. So having this card for the early game is very, very good. Makes your blue splash is easy in just about any deck you want to play blue in. So really, no matter what leader, what color you're playing, as long as you own 4 beans, 4 of this card, and 4 coercion, you can make some type of blue splash work in any deck. I think that is very, very good. Next up, Respectful Master Kawasu. When this card's played, look at top 7 cards of your deck, add 1 blue Zamasu card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So a few things here. This is kind of like in the same vein as that Future Trunks we started the video off with, in the sense that we will continue to get Zamasu support. It seems like Zamasu support is mostly tied to blue and blue-yellow, a little bit in green, but mostly blue. So with that in mind, this is going to search all your different Zamasus you're ever going to play in a blue Zamasu deck. And I promise you, the guys, that we are probably getting more blue Zamasu support in the future. So definitely want to have a playset of this card. This is a card I'll actually predict to have a very, very cheap foil printing as well. Like, people just aren't going to play it when it first comes out. So I think the foils of this card will be very, very cheap. So I'd recommend keeping an eye on that. And with that being said, he searches your blue-yellow Zamasu super combo. So that's just a win-win there. Pretty much any deck. Let's say you're playing maybe like 10 to 12 Zamasu cards. Let's say you're not even playing a Zamasu deck and you're just playing 10 to 12 Zamasu cards. If they're just that good, well, this is a searcher for your super combos and your other Zamasu cards that you're just happening to play because they're good cards. So Respectful Master Kawasu, definitely want to recommend you guys pick up a playset. Demigod, Unison of Sorcery. We have a 1-drop Unison, pretty rare to come by those. He has a 5k power, permanent. If this card would lose a marker from an opponent's attack, add 1 card from life to your hand. So what's really cool about this card is he punishes your opponent for attacking into it, trying to remove markers. And instead of like a lot of the other cards that have this effect, he doesn't crit you a life. He actually lets you take a card from your life to your hand. So that's just all around plus. Activate main +1. This card gets plus 10,000 power for the turn. So he's a pretty aggressive 1-drop Unison. And the -3, activate main, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So this card is very, very good against Invoker for green. Basically, you have that turn 1 aggression with a +1 effect, and then when the -3 effect rolls around, you basically KO one of your opponent's battle cards. It could be a Topo or maybe one of the 1-drop Whis that search their field card out, and then you KO their Vegeta Invoker, and they really can't interact with Unisons like this. Especially this guy, he has inherent protection. So besides that, in the Invoker matchup, in general, excellent Unison. Definitely pick it up. Sun Gohan potential unlocked, 1-drop, unique blocker, permanent. If your leader card is green, you have a green Unison card in play with specified cost of 2. You can play this card from hand without paying its energy cost. So obviously we have a handful of 2-drop Unisons in set 10. We have Bardock, we have the Frieza Xeno, and we have the Golden Frieza. But guys, I can almost guarantee you that more green Unisons with a specified cost of 2 are going to be printed in this game, guys. So this is kind of what this video is also for. It's kind of helping you guys get in the mindset of what they're going to print in the future, how they're going to support these older archetypes. But the thing is, like, a 2-drop green Unison, that's a very specific card molding. So with that in mind, they're probably going to print many, many more of these in the game's future. So having this card, the free blocker that 1 protects your Unison, or 2 protects your leader, or 3 gets your leader awakened if you're playing something like SS Goku, that is a very, very important thing to think about. Definitely get your playset. Mira, Faithful Servant, 2-drop 10k, activate main. If you don't have any battle cards in play this card from your hand. That's all we're reading from this card. That is the only reason I want you to pick this card up. You know, you don't have to be playing Toa. You don't have to be playing a Mira strategy. This is a free play card. We just got done going over the whole debacle of why Universe 3 was broken, because it was all played for 0 energy. Yeah, this card's 10k. Yeah, this card's a little smaller, but it's still a free play card that can easily become abusable down the road. And again, this is one of the ways I'm trying to, you know, gear your guys' minds in terms of thinking this way. This card's not great today. I mean, it is really, really good if you're playing Toa, but in any other deck, it's not too great. But in the future, this card can easily be very, very good for a plethora of reasons. So very, very good card you want to pick up. Have a playset of it. It's probably a 25-cent investment for a playset overall. I'd strongly recommend it to you guys. Bardock throws a loot. This is a card you honestly really just want to have all the time because they ruled it the way they did. When you deal damage to your opponent, even by a regular damage, you can play this card for free if your leader is a red leader. He's a double striker. Auto once per turn when this card activates a counter skill, or when your opponent activates a counter skill rather, switch this card to active mode. So he basically gets around 1 negate per turn. Next up, Son Goku, Power of Legend at the uncommon spot for a very similar reason. If your leader is green, you make your opponent discard a card. You play him for free. He has the critical. He can also remove himself from the field to warp one of your opponent's battle cards 4 or less. Overall, very good value. And finally, guys, Pan the Earnest, another card that I don't think is too great now. I don't think people are going to be playing this card in the Gotenks variants because honestly Basil is just a little bit better of a 1-drop. But as more Gotens, Trunkses, and Gotenks Adolescents come out, this card searches for 2 of those cards in total from the top 5 of your deck, and then you discard a card. So that's incredibly powerful. And we already have discard synergy that'll work with Pan the Earnest, aka Beerus Godly Majesty. So that's actually really, really interesting. Like splash, you know, play 4 of this, splash 2 to 3 to 4, Beerus Godly Majesty, search for your Goten, Trunkses, and Gotenkses, and then play your Beerus. That's pretty interesting, but a card I definitely want you to have for the future because I guarantee you we're also getting more Gotenks support as well. So guys, with that in mind, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. All the links in the description, check them out. I will see you guys next time.